Diverse Founders Perspective, the podcast, Episode 6.
So, hi, Jane.
Hi.
Welcome back to Diverse Founders Perspective, the podcast where we dive deep into the real, raw, and remarkable journeys of diverse founders who are redefining entrepreneurship in Denmark and beyond. I'm your host, Rebecca, founder of Diverse Founders Network, and today we are talking about something every human has felt, heartbreak. But our guest today, Jane, just didn't move through it. She built a business from it. Joining me is Jane, founder of Halmos, a groundbreaking startup that transforms heartbreak into empowerment, helping people go from heartbreak to heartstrong. So welcome, Jane.
Yeah, hi, Becca. Thank you for having me here.
Great
Yeah.
having you. Let's start right from the heart, literally. What inspired you to create Halmos? Was there any particular moment when you realized that your own heartbreak could turn into something healing for others?
Yeah, so apparently, yeah, it's from my own personal experience for sure. So that was my first breakup, even though the relationship only started for 3 months. But the first cut was really tough. And while I was trying out everything, talking to friends, meditation, I was even taking ice skating classes, in tropical city like Singapore because of let it go, let it go. So I was also like traveling alone and somehow I was seeking if there's an app there because I was a product designer and I make apps and I was trying to find one, but I couldn't. And I was just trying so many things. And then by that time, I was also every day writing a letter to an imaginary ex, which like every day I like journaling down. And until finally one day a quote appeared, which is like dealing with a breakup. It's like grieving for someone who is alive. Then the idea came to me, and then I found a friend and talk about the idea. Then we just started acting on it and start to build the app. Yeah. So because like grieving for someone who is alive, so why not just like how you grieve a normal dead person who like you build a tombstone. It's a bit wild, but yeah, that's how the idea came
But
from.
I'm thinking like that is powerful, turning something so deeply personal into something that can help people heal. When you first
Mhm.
launched Halmos back in 2018, what were those early days like? Did you have any idea it would take off the way it did?
No, not at all. So, before launch, me and my co-founder, we both had like full-time job, corporate jobs. So we took our weekend time to just spar and brainstorm ideas to create the product out. And then I would say it was fun, and we didn't really treat it as a business at all. And even after we launched the app during Southeast Asia's biggest tech conference. It's called InnoFest. And then we even got some media exposure on South China Morning Post, which supposed to be a little big. And then, but we still not treating it as a business. First, we didn't have any business knowledge, maybe, and then we also feel like, oh, why these people they really want to take advantage of the all our broken hearts. They ask about money all the time. What the hell? So we treat it as a fun project, as a little celebration, and of course, um, like we just really didn't expect anything, and we feel good and we feel sense of accomplishment after we created that. And I myself, I also sent the tombstone to my ex, that was a pretty fulfilled feeling or whatever. Yeah, so we didn't expect all those in the beginning. Yeah.
And I have to ask, how did you suddenly discover that Cosmopolitan has featured your app as one of the most breakup apps, the best breakup app? That must have been a
Yeah.
surreal moment for you.
Yeah, that was just pretty surprising because since after we launched it and we just kind of didn't really continue it as a real business. We didn't treat it as business anyway. So but I still monitor it it's my baby. So it was during COVID time. Then suddenly I realized there's a surge of users, and then I was just out of curiosity. I was searching it on Google, and then realized, oh, my app has been featured by Cosmopolitan and also
Wow.
some other medias like Trend Hunter. And then I was like, wow. But also at the same time, my Asian mentality is like, oh, my app is doing something really good, and I feel guilty that I was not working on it. Then I start to feel bad, and I feel like I had abandoned my kids. So somehow the idea of reworking on the app started to regrow in me and have a seed in me, and yeah.
Oh, that's
So.
wonderful. So you
Mhm.
describe Halmos as a wild kid that grew on its own, right? So what was it like watching it evolve or organically, and what has pushed you back, refine it, and turn it to a fully pledged company in Denmark?
Yeah, that's why. So of course I feel great about the organic growth.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's more than 12,000 users across 158 countries, and literally I really didn't buy, and only on iOS platform, and people found it through maybe I think organic search, or maybe Cosmopolitan helped a little bit or whatever. So it's or just I really feel there's a need, and I feel I need to do something about it. And some users they even come back uh, after a few years when they have another breakup. Or I have really active users, they have more than 1 year of active days on the app and using it. And also there are some nice testimonials and personal appreciation how the app have helped them during the toughest time. So those are all these rewarding feelings to kind of slowly starting to nudge me a little bit, say, hey, maybe you need to quit your job to work on the app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you feel that there's a need or a market for it here in Denmark?
Uh, yeah, of course, it's everywhere you have broken hearts. So that's how, yeah, I came to Denmark. Maybe it's just a bit random. I never thought about coming to Denmark, but then when I thought I want to do MBA to kind of boost my confidence, to gain some business knowledge. That's how I ended up in Denmark, did my MBA. Yeah, and also because after the MBA, life threw me another breakup. So it's just the whole universe kind of leading me to do all this thing together. And yeah, and in Denmark, like, the breakups is everywhere. Heartbreaks
That's
is
true.
everywhere. It's universal. So
Yeah.
of course, in Denmark, people need it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So let's talk about your experience as a female and a diverse founder in Denmark. How has that journey been for you? What has it been rewarding or challenging?
Mm, I would say. Of course, it's very challenging, but it's the most rewarding experience ever, I would have to say as well. A lot of up and downs, and yeah, also the weather is, the temperature and everything up and down. So it's from all this up and down moments, uh, it really empowered me a lot in many ways. And yeah,
Yeah. So
so I would say,
entrepreneurship, yeah, so
mhm.
entrepreneurship can often feel lonely. And even so, when you don't see people like who look like you in the rooms, have you faced moments when you questioned whether you belonged in a Danish startup ecosystem?
To be honest, I feel quite really empowered, and I feel uh, sort of belong. Yeah, it's a bit weird feeling because many times I actually forgot I look different in the room because people would come to talk to me and open to me, and Yes, but in some of the settings, depends on the events and the settings, setups. But in some of the networkings, I feel more challenging for people to notice me. But I'm also kind of good to put myself out there. So uh, I appear more confident after, but also this comes from all the startup experience. It's slowly really building up or the power in me myself, and then I become like stronger and stronger. So slowly I really become more seen. I don't know what comes first, but. Um, yeah, seems the whole network is really very helpful and it's very small. So ended up you kind of you know this person and this person will connect you with another person. And then I feel like, oh wow, people are all trying to help. Then I feel very loving environment
Oh, that's
somehow.
nice.
But
Okay.
also like also maybe I will I of course I gain more this kind of empowerment from women specific kind of environment. But there are also men, a lot of men, Danish men or like European men, they really respect women
Yeah.
in a way. Maybe not money, they don't give you the money, but but for talk, yes.
Yeah, okay. So what
Mhm.
are some of the unique barriers you have encountered as an Asian female founder building a business in Europe, and how did you push through them?
Oh, you mean actually the most visible kind of unique barrier? I would say maybe it's a joke or whatever, but maybe it's the Asian gene. I look younger than I actually am. So I'm 30 plus, but people easily take me as 20-ish. So they might think, and also because I have the youthful energy, so they think I'm young or maybe I'm not that
Experienced.
yeah experienced enough to talk about things so people tend to take me less seriously maybe but also from all this startup experience I am learning myself to speak more powerful and more like grounded like Obama pauses all this like I gained like how to really um yeah to be more firm and to express about all my perceptions and things. This all comes with experience,
Yeah.
and yeah.
So on
So
the flip side,
and yeah, but yeah, I still want to talk about the challenging part. So the look is one side, but then another thing is maybe compared to the local funders, we face visa issue and also the typical moving issue and then I expect. Maybe the for the EUs, it's also easier to get financial support. They have a CASR and things, and I have nothing.
yeah.
So yeah, and also many times when the startup is already tough enough, I still need to looking for a housing problem, like oh where to move to, like oh tomorrow maybe I will be homeless. So all these things it's it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so let's move on the flip side. How has your cultural background been a source of strength or inspiration, and how do you lead your company or build your
Hmm.
company through that?
Yeah, so I would say, yeah, it's the stamina, the hardworking attitude, because I'm from the Asian background, we really work hard. We work a lot. I mean, of course, I integrate in a little bit more, and now I care about the mental health. But before I came to Denmark, who care about mental health? We don't have this idea of mental health. Yeah, so we just do things and not so much complications about oh today I'm feeling great or the next day I feel depressed and also I was in Singapore then every day is a sunny day so you can't blame the weather but now if here and someday you feel oh I feel so down then you blame the weather oh it's so gloomy so dark and I don't feel motivation to work but then from the Asian background yeah we are somehow just maybe a bit tougher, not that fragile, I would
Yeah.
say. And I'm also very disciplined. from all the tough love from my parents, and then yeah, in a way, like I don't feel good enough about myself, which I try to put in more effort. That's good and bad from the Asian upbringing. Yeah, but I'm trying to balance the Asian and the whatever Western thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good that you can integrate both and use both as a balancing effect in your life. So let's
Yeah,
move
now
in.
sometimes I would also make excuse saying, yeah, I don't feel good today. I need to focus on my mental health.
Yeah, but it's also good sometimes to listen to your own body, what your body tells you, instead of
Yeah,
like having this
exactly.
mentality that I have to work, 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 but you also need balance and listen to
Exactly.
yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
find it incredible that Halmos was born out of something so human, heartbreak, and turned into something so empowering. Have you learned, what have you learned about resilience and healing through building this business?
Yeah, I think yeah, you have mentioned this whole resilience is actually what I've learned through building the business, and also just really how to deal with all rejections. Because all my past life before the startup, maybe everything was really smooth. I
Hmm.
left China when I was 15. I got a full scholarship to live in Singapore, and then everything was taken care of by the government. Yeah, I got paid, and then I found job quite easily after graduation. Then yeah, it's just and I got my citizenship, got my own apartment. It's just everything was quite smooth. And it's only maybe coming to here and doing the whole startup. And even in the beginning, when I first time applied for InnoFounder, immediately I got into the pitch round. I was like, wow, that is easy. But then, then after that, it's all rejections until in the end, I feel, oh my gosh, the next one, please, because I feel I'm just unbreakable and unstoppable. Like if one rejection, okay, what's the next rejection? It's just keep coming. And then I feel stronger, and I also learned how to set my boundaries, say no to things, and yeah, it's just so much like I feel. Yes, I got so many rejections, but the holistically, I become a much more wholesome person, have up and downs, not like in Singapore when when the weather is constant. I feel every day is like quite constant too. But here you have wind, you have all these different things. Then I always say I'm becoming like a Vi queen now. Yeah, so.
Yeah, but there's a human experience, right? Like life is full of ups and downs, and we have to learn from that and how to look at the negatives and transform it into something else. So,
Yes.
do you think society gives enough space for emotional growth in entrepreneurial world? There were so
Mm,
there's also so much
yeah.
emphasis on success and scaling, but not enough on personal side of building.
Yeah, overall, it's always like that. It's like on LinkedIn, you always say people's success, and sometimes when I feel down, I also
Yeah.
refuse to see all the successful
Mm.
stories on LinkedIn, and I feel bad about myself. So I think it's just the whole big picture, the environment. But then in the Nordic now, I really start to see more people talking about the mental health. But I feel most of people focus on the stress level, burnout, but really not so much on the emotional growth that we need to learn to let go things, and exactly how we have mentioned, and also the resilience and how we need to share about vulnerabilities,
Mm.
share about no, I am actually not doing well, and I don't need to be successful, right?
Yeah.
So those are the parts. Yeah, I feel it's lacking.
So you've also once mentioned you have experienced a double breakup, personally
Hmm.
and professionally, just like we are talking about right now, around the same time. Looking back, how did those moments shape your mindset as a founder?
I talk about the double kill, not really double breakup. So the breakup is on the personal side,
Mm.
and yet the experience of creating a startup is another one. So I
Yeah,
say the startup and the breakup, two up is like a double kill for me. Both are tough. So, but I just feel I get tougher from the tough situation, and now. Yeah, exactly as what I have mentioned. I feel I'm unbreakable and unstoppable.
yeah,
And I'm not afraid of rejections anymore. I'm also I learned how to filter all the noises, and I'm just gonna build it and give it a try, give it a
yeah.
go. Hmm.
Powerful. So, what advice would you give to founders, especially women who are going through difficult personal moments, whilst also at the same time still trying to build their businesses and their dreams?
I just feel we are amazing. We are great. So we can all unbreak our own hearts from heartbreak to heartstrong.
Oh,
Really.
I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah. So, here on Diverse Founders Perspective, we always ask, what does
Mhm.
diversity mean for you?
So diversity for me, meaning like learning, understanding, and yet embracing the differences. We can be different in many ways, but we come together because of the energy. Maybe it's a bit now overused word in the spiritual world, but it's sometimes really hard to explain. Like people really can be so different, and still we really like each other and want to work towards the same thing. So I feel diversity is somehow also a unity to bring the differences together, uh, if if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
beautiful things that come out of it. We are all different, but also our differences are the ones who makes us stronger. And together, as diverse as we might be, you find unique things in each and every one of us, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, how do you define inclusion, not just as a buzzword, but as something that could be lived and practiced in a startup and communities?
So I have already mentioned the inclusion is something actually I many times feel here. I like I said, I many times forget that, oh, I'm actually an yellow Asian woman here. I feel included. And there's even people come to talk to me in Danish or ask me if I'm German or Dutch. Then I was like, what? Why? So I somehow feel so I feel inclusion is that you fully blended in without thinking too much about the problem
Yeah.
anymore. People come to you because you are being you, not like you are trying to fit in or anyone try to fit in. So I
Yeah.
feel that's the real inclusion.
Wow, lovely. So when you think about
Mhm.
representation, what impact do you believe it has, not only for founders who are seen, but for the people watching who suddenly realize that that could be me too?
I don't really understand about this representation thing, but I feel uh, it's just be real. And then we have a word saying if you're a gold you will shine anyways. And then I feel I'm someone, even though now I'm Singaporean, have the strongest passport in the world, but I always say I'm made in China. So if I come from a small city in China, not speaking English, and now I'm building a company in Denmark, what the hell? And yeah, like if I can do that, then
Anybody?
anyone can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. So do you feel Denmark is moving forward, moving in the right direction when it comes to supporting diverse founders? What do you think, or maybe what do you think still needs to be improved?
I feel it is, at least for me, from what I see, there's more initiative to support female founders or even female investors. And also that's how exactly how we met in the Fem Invest, this fearless event. And also in the Copenhagen School of Entrepreneurship, CSE, we
Mm.
also have initiatives like fund us some like funders events specifically dedicated to women funders or minority group funders. And also before I was in some accelerator programs dedicated to women funders. So I definitely think there are more spaces for that. But in most of the the big like the universal kind of events, let's say tech barbecue, or even the CSE pitch competition before CBS, in the end the winners are still mostly maybe men. So we have initiatives more for women, but we kind of maybe still need more women winners.
Yeah. So do you think that is different from China or Singapore in that perspective?
I didn't really try to start a business in Asia. That was more like a fun product. But when I was back there, they were told they were really so impressed by what I was doing because they kind of saying if in Asia kind of setting, the women funders, they normally have some like, background or some men kind of supporting them. They have some sneaky ways to get success. I mean, not, of course, not all cases, but then I was like, huh? Really? Because everything here is transparent. If really women founders, we are just doing all things by ourselves. There's no man like kind of being your sugar daddy or something like supporting your business. So maybe that's the kind of the difference, but um, yeah, but for me, being here, I try to think I can do better than men too. Like we are all the same
Yeah. So
eventually.
so let's
Yeah.
move to Halmos 2.0,
hmm
the rebranding. Tell us
hmm
what's new. How is AI helping you take heartbreak recovery to the next level?
Yeah, so first in the new branding, like I just make it before maybe a bit more corporate look and a bit dated. So now we have a fresh new look and the AI part. So we don't want to say it's like an AI bot because there are so many chatbot and things used, but then we want to more use it as a tool for you to grade your own heart strengths through the AI. Then the analysis, it will analyze the your emotional growth through using the psychology framework. I'm working with a local psychologist. And another way is and I'm also co-innovating with a Canadian company. They own a patent which it's like emotion AI. It can sense your emotion through gestures. So that is also something we are trying to working on. Uh, yeah, and then because before there was no business model in the app, so now we're trying to put business model to really make it a real product, a business instead of a passion project. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So the world of emotional tech, like you're saying, is growing, right? And it's
Yeah.
growing very fast. What makes Halmos unique in how it approaches something as deeply personal as heartbreak?
Yeah, I think the difference is I try to portray Halmos a bit more like a badass vibe, but hopeful and uplifting and using humor because I'm like that. I'm a funny person. And so my app is kind of reflect uh, a lot of my belief in it as well. So many of the emotional space they tend to be cozy, cheesy, and therapeutic. People want to hug together. But you see, what I use is to use a tombstone. It's wild, but why not? And then from this kind of dark thing, you can turn the dark thing to something brighter.
Yeah.
So I think that's the most unique part. Mhm.
Wow. So what's your long-term vision for Halmos? How do you see it reshaping the future of mental wellness, empathy, and technology?
Yes, so our vision is to empower broken hearts. So not just breakups, because you have so many other kind of things will lead to a heartbreak. So it's exactly what we have been mentioned quite a few times, which is to build resilience in the whole society. Yeah, because we are born to be strong and we can.
Yes, that's true. Power to that. So we are running out of time soon, so let's move through the rapid fire questions, Heartstrong
Mhm.
edition. So, Chin, it's time for our favorite segment, rapid fire questions. I ask few questions, quick questions, answer the first thing that comes to your mind. So
Yeah.
let's talk about what is your go-to heartbreak recovery anthem?
It's a song I played most of the time last year when it was my toughest moment. It's The Player from Kid Francesco Lee.
Wow.
Yeah, not a major thing, but it's called The Player.
So what's the best advice someone gave you after a breakup?
Oh yeah, I think it's there are only two situations li in life, good things and good things you don't know yet.
Coffee or comfort food when coding?
Neither tea. I'm a tea lady. Tea is the answer.
Wow, yeah. Favorite city for inspiration?
I don't think there's favorite city. I think actually Copenhagen is one of my favorite cities for sure. So,
Yeah,
but
Copenhagen is
it's
nice.
in general, it's anywhere in nature alone, or biking alone, or traveling, hiking alone. Those kind of I heard the term. It's called productive meditation. So I feel whenever I'm in productive meditation, can even be like cycling in the city without doing anything. But those are the moments sometimes that an idea will hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what's one word that describes how you feel about the future?
hope.
Wow, that's good. So let's have our final thoughts. This has been such an
Uh,
inspiring conversation to have. Before we wrap up, what's one message you would love to leave with other diverse founders who might be struggling at the moment?
hmm Uh, being founder is tough, but why can't we be tougher? We can always be better and stronger than we thought.
Yes. And finally,
hmm
what does it mean for you to turn heartbreak, both in business and in life, into heartstrong?
It means resilience, the grip, and the belief in me and understand and learn about me. It's all about I, me, and myself and how to be the best version of ourselves.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true to that. So thank you, Chin, for sharing your journey with us and reminding us that even the hardest moments can turn into something beautiful. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to share it and tell your friends to tell their friends so that we can all be friends. Like this was so empowering. Like diverse founders,
Thank you.
like was saying that like we can always like learn from the challenges that we go through and then like build from that instead of trying to thinking like getting down. Just like when you said like to maybe like you said direction, like rejection, you can turn it into a redirection of what you want out of life. So this was it,
Yes.
Jin. It was nice having you and this conversation. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
it
Thank you for having
resonated.
me. And I still remember what you have shared before, the authenticity. Your authenticity is the biggest disruptive technology. That will just really keep in my mind.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you for that. And then the best minds, one vision for success.
Thanks for watching the Diverse Founders Network podcast. Next episode is with Rosa Camaro, a CEO and founder at Ramiro, an AI film marketing and distribution assistant, film producer, and seeking strategic seed investor.